You're watching SKN Newsline TV live on sknnewsline.com. The recent court ruling in favor of opposition leader Dr. Denzil Douglas in the diplomatic passport case is a blow to team unity, according to political pollster and analyst Peter Wickham. Mr. Wickham was speaking on the radio program Let's Talk St. Kitts and Nevis, which airs on SK Newsline's sister radio station, Voice of the Caribbean Radio, at voiceofthecaribbean.net.
At a more broad level politically, I think it was surprising to me, the outcome. And I think it comes as a blow to the unity government, because I imagine that they also would have expected a ruling that was more favorable to them, and a ruling that essentially said that the passport which Dr. Douglas carried, said he was a citizen of Dominica, was an indication that he was indeed a citizen of Dominica through some way, shape or form that he would have achieved, or at least applied for that citizenship.
According to Mr. Wickham, the results in the case will not necessarily add votes to the opposition's St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party, but may perpetuate the notion that team unity may not be as politically shrewd as the opposition leader.
That I don't believe that it necessarily wins or loses votes, but what I do believe is that it has a lot to do with how the team unity government is regarded. One of the challenges that team unity faces is a perception of weakness, a perception that it is not as politically strong as the Labour Party is, a perception that it can be outfoxed by Dr. Douglas, a perception essentially that Dr. Douglas is more politically shrewd than Dr. Harris is. And I think that what the case has done is that it has helped cement a number of those perceptions in people's minds. Now, whether or not that converts to votes is another matter, and I'm not necessarily convinced that it does.
Mr. Wickham believes that Team Unity, in order to reassert its image, may need to appeal the ruling.
Team Unity has an election to prepare for, and I think it's important that we note that in between that case and now, we have had not one but two public opinion polls that have suggested that Team Unity is doing reasonably well on the ground. This cannot be a focus for them. I don't think that it is useful for them to be distracted unduly by the pursuit of this case. This cannot be a basis on which they attempt to win the next election. I think it needs to focus on performance, and it needs to focus on the delivery of all of the promises that were made in the last election. Aside from that, my thing is, of course, definitely you can pursue an appeal, and I think that it should be pursued independently to the highest court in the land. Team Unity had substantial success at the Privy Council before. Maybe it needs to return to the Privy Council now to see whether the Privy Council will view it more favorably than the local courts did, as was the case in the past.
The government had brought a case against former Prime Minister Dr. Denzil Douglas, arguing that by possessing and using a diplomatic passport for Dominica, he contravened the Constitution of St. Kitts and Nevis, and by having allegiance to a foreign power. The government side asked the court that Dr. Douglas, if found guilty, be asked to vacate his seat. However, Justice Trevor Ward, in his ruling in February, said the defendant obtained the diplomatic passport solely as a gesture of political and professional courtesy extended to him in his capacity as former Prime Minister. The judge also argued that under Dominican law, the voluntary act of acquiring and using a diplomatic passport by a non-citizen does not place the holder under an acknowledgement of allegiance or adherence or obedience to Dominica. The government has hinted that it may appeal the ruling. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.
Good evening, I am Sherry Morton here with SK Newsline. I am here at the 2019 Primary School Championship where Charlestown Primary School won. They defended their title. I am here with one of the coaches and he would give you a rundown on the races and training and everything.
Well, my name is Ryston Queely, the coach at the Charlestown, one of the coaches at the Charlestown Primary School. As you guys may know, we participated in the 100 meter, the 200 meter, the 4x1s, the 800, the 1200s, and the 4x4s. I think the children went out with a purpose. They went out and execute a task that the coaches asked them to do. The children went out there and they had fun. As you guys may know, we was dominant in the 400 meter. We didn't do so well in the 60 meter. But in the other races, we were dominant. But overall, even though we was dominant in those 60 meters, those 1 or 2 points counted at the end. I must give credit to the other schools. They came out with a purpose also. They came out, they showcased their talent. The kids came out, they had fun, they execute what the other coaches taught them. And you can see the the friendship within those children. At the end of the day, you got to remember those children are kids, and this meet for me show me these kids making friendship with other schools, and that's something I really like, because in this day and age, you know, the gang violence, etc. But to see these kids come out and make friends with each other, that's something I hold to heart.
And how do you feel defending your title?
Well, I feel wonderful defending my title. It's always harder to defend than to just come and win. Last year we came and we won, but this year I set my program. The other coaches and I had an input in the program. We came out and we just set our program, execute the task, put the children on their strict diet, and the strategy worked. So hopefully we could use that same strategy going to next year to defend again and try to repeat.
The scores and places for the schools. First place, Charlestown Primary School with 218 points. Second place, St. Thomas Primary School with 184 points. Third place, Joycelyn Liebert Primary School with 138 points. Fourth place, Ivor Walters Primary School with 131 points. Fifth place, Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School with 65 points. Sixth place, Maud Cross Preparatory with 52 points. Seventh place, Violet O. Jeffords Nichols Primary School with 48 points. Eighth place, Nevis Academy with 18 points. Ninth place, St. James Primary School with 15 points, amounting to the total of 869 points. I am Chiari Morton reporting for SKN Newsline.
Would winning a Samsung Note 9 make your Easter extra special? Yes? Then hop on into KFC and let's make your dream come true. It's your chance to win a brand new Samsung Note 9. It's simple. Spend $30 or more at KFC. Log on to www.kfcsaintkidssurvey.com. Complete the survey, write the validation code at the back of your receipt along with your name and phone number, and return to any cashier. Draw date 18th April. Make this Easter extra special with KFC. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
At Nagico, the things that matter to you matter to us. Like your boat when you're at sea and you get away from everything. Your home and the security of your daughter's things. And the car that you've had for too long, but after all these years, you just can't let go. At Nagico, we're about much more than just insurance. We're about the big things and the small things that mean everything.
Meridian Medical Pharmacy is the best place to get your pharmaceutical products. We make filling prescriptions easy. Our well-stocked pharmacies are ready to serve you. Check us for medical supplies, skin products, supplements, and so much more. Ask about flu vaccines. At Meridian Medical Pharmacy, we are focused on offering a professional, personalized pharmacy experience. Our service is personal, compassionate, and friendly. Located at our state-of-the-art medical facilities at the corner of South Independence Square Street and Adlam Street, downtown Bastyr, St. Kitts. And now we have a new branch on Frigate Bay Road in the Sugars Complex. Call 465-5096 and 465-3306 or email pharmacy@meridianmedcons.com. Visit Meridian Medical Pharmacy today and experience professional customer care and fast prescription fill-in service. Meridian Medical Pharmacy. The self-proclaimed Doctor of Culture, Winston Zach Nisbet, says all is set for this year's Basil Henderson Aquatic Sport Meet, scheduled for Easter Monday at the Bastyr waterfront. Speaking from our offices at SK Newsline in Bastyr on Friday, Mr. Nisbet gave some insight into preparations for this year's competition.
Is a little different, more creative in terms of during the period where the boxing will be taking place, and prior to that we are going to have skipping races so that the populace can be involved. We are going to have eating the bun off of the string We have 10 buns. Line up, you put your hands behind your back, and who finished their bun first will get a gift.
Mr. Nisbet said the response to sponsorship has been good.
Diamond Security, persons like Uncle T's. We have Scenic Railway, TDC, Hobson's Enterprise. It's a number of prizes. We normally get about 50 sponsors or more. And all these sponsorships go into the individuals that swim. They don't have to pay 1 cent for the swim races. They just come down and participate, and they go home with gifts. In fact, Coates is one of our major sponsors, and just yesterday they gave one 24-inch LED-colored flat-screen television. This goes to one of the contestants, to call like weed eaters. These are some of the gifts we get. So they are grateful for what they get. Kentucky Fried Chicken, just yesterday, they gave a whole buckets of chicken, that sort of thing. The Loftus Bridgewater, annually, upstairs lighting, annually they gave, last year, we collected about 25 medals and trophies. Every single year they contribute towards that. And that is a significant part of the whole development as well. The St. Kitts Brewers, they pay for the boxing ring, and they gave a few drinks as well, and also tents. And COSCAB, so last year COSCAB gave us 35 cases of drinks, and these drinks were distributed to the swimmers, because we have different categories, 8 to 12, 13 to 16, 17 and over. But this year we are going to introduce a new feature, 40 and over.
Meanwhile, the organizer gave a rundown of activities scheduled for this year's meet.
We start out in the morning, 9 o'clock, with opening prayers, as indicated by Dr. Pastor Eustace Rollins. He has been doing that over the years. Dedicated person, because it's important that we evoke God's blessings on the proceedings, which is significant. We have the EMS service, they are always there, right on the pier. The Coast Guard, they have been there from its inception. The Red Cross, the police, they are always there in their numbers. The electricity department, because they give the pole that goes over the seawater with the ham tied on it. Then we have the grease, we have from TDC and that sort of thing. Then we have the other metal pole in the sun. You climb, go up, and you get $350 while you grab that money right up to the top. And that money comes from Scenic Railway, along with 6 Scenic Railway tours.
The 61st year of the aquatic sports meet commemorates life and times of Venerable Patriarch, who gave his whole being to the 4-H organization, which he started and nurtured in St. Kitts and Nevis. The Easter Monday Aquatic Sport Meet is being coordinated by the cultural preservationist Mr. Winston Zach Nisbet, who is supported by several dedicated volunteers, including Mr. Earl Clark, who has been a stalwart 4-H'er for over 40 years. Mr. Clark will be delivering the vote of thanks, and there will be a short speech by Agnes Skerritt, who was one of Basil Henderson's greatest assistants. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline. Rams Village superstars Sol Island Auto Supplies Connery FC, Flow 4GK Rockets, and S-Crave Newtown United each booked their semi-final spot in the FA Cup this past week after winning their respective quarter-final matches. On Saturday at the Warner Park, Rams Village superstars and S-Crave Newtown United booked wins, scoring 4 goals each against Fast Cash Saddlers and Hobson Enterprises Garden Hotspurs, respectively. Village won with a 4-1 scoreline. Travis Rogers, Austin Henry, Kimari Rogers, and Javon Amory were the goal scorers for Village. Denroy Matthews scored a consolation goal in stoppage time for Saddlers. It's a good boost for the defending Premier League champions as they prepare to head off to Curaçao this week to participate in the Caribbean Club Shield. Meanwhile, Newtown United defeated Garden Hotspurs 4-0 in the second match of Saturday's doubleheader. Scoring for Newtown, Orlando Mitchum scoring twice in the 25th and 48th minute, Devon Elliott in the 37th minute, and Carlos Bertie in the stoppage time of the first half. After the match, coach Earl Jones of Newtown hinted to the win as revenge after losing 3-1 to Spurs a couple of weeks ago in the Premier League. He also highlighted the importance of progressing in the FA Cup with a chance to win the title.
In everything this year, we really need to get a piece of all the pies this year. So I mean, for Newtown, I mean, we come in strong all the way in every competition. I mean, we ain't taking nothing lightly. I mean, we need everything. The community need it, and this year we definitely gotta do it for our community, our fans, and most of all the boys.
Coach Austin Huggins of Spurs said a number of factors plagued his team, resulting in the loss.
One, we started off with a not very strong enough team. We had to bench a couple of players who were supposed to be at the game for a particular time. Was in the starting 11 and show up late, so we had to make adjustments. Nevertheless, we went and we played. I think we give a good account of ourselves.
In Thursday's FA Cup quarter-final matches, both teams ended in a 2-2 stalemate at the end of regulation time, forcing penalties. Atiba Harris St. Peters came from behind twice to draw 2-2 with Flow 4G Keon Rockets. Vince Roy Nelson scored twice for Keon in the 41st and 72nd minute, but Kirkland Harris in the 87th minute and Kareem Simmons in the first minute of stoppage time made sure that St. Peters had a fighting chance in penalties. From the penalty spot, it went to sudden death as Kareem Simmons, Usain Slater, Dejon Simmons and Kelvin Phillip scored for St. Peters. However, Keon was able to get the go-ahead goal with Vince Roy Nelson, Malik Hendrickson, Kurt Morton, Joel Jeffers, and Donroy Liburd scoring for Keon. 5-4, 7-6 overall. The victory was a welcome one for Keon, the defending champions of the FA Cup, as outlined by assistant coach Jazza Buchanan.
It's very important for us because through how we've been playing and losing some games crucial in last 80-something minute. I let that show how St. Peters come back tonight and almost win the game. Right? It's been very important for us to win from the start. We wanted this win because we are the reigning champion, and so we wanted to come out and win this.
Kareem Harris, a player with St. Peters, was obviously disappointed with the loss, but believes the team will continue pushing on in the Premier League.
And unfortunately, it was a tough game. We was down 2-0, and then we come back and scored 2 goals. The game went straight to penalty kicks, and unfortunately we just lost the game by penalty kicks. But we're going to stay for it to win the Premier Championship because we come up the table slowly. So we head still up. We keep we head down because we lose the game. We still fighting.
In match number 2 on Thursday, Saul Island Auto Supplies Connery and SL Horses St. Paul's each drew 2-2, with Connery coming from behind twice. Scoring for St. Paul's in regulation time, Kendale Liburd in the 3rd minute and Javon Leader in the 50th minute. For Connery, Errol O'Loughlin scoring from the penalty spot in the 23rd minute and Aldane Powell in the 87th minute. The goal scorers in the penalty shootout see Jamal Jeffers for St. Paul's, Javon Leader, DeAndre Challenger, Kwame Challenger and Kareem Thomas. For Connery, the goal scorers Aldane Powell, Kadeem Lewis, Podasa Howe, Tijani Fai, Dakari Phipps and Dequan Watley. Connery winning 6-5 in the penalty shootout and 8-7 in the overall score. Connery's coach Alexis Morris was elated with his team's resilience to come from behind twice and eventually win in sudden death penalties.
Kudos to my guys this evening. We would have stayed to the game plan throughout. We really wanted to suck up the pressure that St. Paul's were bringing to us, and we stayed out there and we played a very disciplined game, I must admit, and it was only a matter of time.
Coach Iroy Kunga Jeffers of St. Paul's was disappointed with the loss, but believes his team is showing more community spirit than previous.
I think we switch off in the dying moments. That's what happened to us, but that's how the game goes sometimes. This game where we played tonight, the performance and the fighting spirit can give us some more energy to come and play in the Premiership now. Now we out most of the cups that we're playing for now, so we just got to play for the bigger cup now, that's the Premiership Cup now. So I think the guys have been ready now to fight for the community now.
With the FA Cup quarterfinals now out of the way, the SKNFA National Bank Premier League resumes this coming weekend. Get up mornings with Carly Springett on Voice of the Caribbean Radio, Monday to Fridays, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Be energized from the spoken word, daily blessings, black facts, health tips, divine connections, kingdom happenings, weather, SRN news, and more, with star-studded interviews and testimonies and practical principles to help listeners do what the mantra proclaims. Get Up Mornings with Carl D. Springett from Faith Walkins, Love Talkins, and Joy Livins. Get up and be energized with Carl D. Springett, Monday to Fridays, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Voice of the Caribbean Radio at voiceofthecaribbean.net. Get Up Mornings with Carl D. Springett.
Looking for the best prices and quality for printing and designs? Then come to Mass Printery and Copy Center and Anointed Fingers Works of Art. Located on Fort Thomas Road, Basseterre and Main Street, Halfway Tree. We offer poster designs and airbrushing, business cards, logos, and printed shirts. We also offer designing and printing services for ID cards, printing on leather and jeans, sign creation, lamination, and so much more. Need to get customized design printed on cups and glasses? Come to us and we will make it happen. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Saturday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call us 660-3932 or 763-8140. Email us at miraclemass4u@gmail.com. or visit our location at Fort Thomas Road on Main Street, Halfway Tree. Production at its peak. Quality you can't beat.
For all your printing needs at top-notch quality, go to Digital Print Plus, located on Princess Street, Basseterre, St. Kitts. At Digital Print Plus, you get the best in business cards, letterheads, envelopes, wristbands, tent cards, rack cards, flyers, brochures, logo designs, posters, photos, architectural designs, 3D renderings, and so much more. Digital Print Plus gives you the best quality at competitive prices. Contact us at 767-7468 or email digitalprintskn@gmail.com or follow us on Facebook at Digital Print SKN. Digital Print Plus, for all your printing needs at the best quality.